Chosen one, this message reached you with purpose. God guided you here for a specific reason. Something is unfolding in your life that you can't fully grasp. It's not just about financial growth. It's about generational change. You've been selected not just to gain wealth, but to create a legacy that endures beyond you. This transcends money, influence, or ease. It's about destiny. Let's explore 7 divine insights that will clarify what's happening and why everything is about to transform. Before we go deeper, ensure you like, share, and subscribe. This isn't mere content. It's divine affirmation for those chosen, not just to prosper, but to rise and forge legacy. If your spirit resonates with this vibration, type 77 in the comments now. That number isn't arbitrary. It's a sacred sign to God and the universe that you're prepared, ready to shatter generational boundaries, walk in divine abundance, and build something that outlives you. Not everyone will reach the end. Only the truly chosen, those who see this isn't about material gain, but divine purpose, will stay. Those who remain will gain clarity, wisdom, and divine assurance that they're entrusted with generational impact. This isn't just a message. It's a blueprint, a spiritual legacy woven into words. Revisit it as your soul guides. Each time, another layer of legacy will unveil, another key will be given, another door will open. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The shift from survival to legacy. You've lived much of your life in survival mode, not from lack of faith, but because God was shaping something unbreakable within you. You weren't lagging, you weren't being punished, you were being molded. While others sought comfort, you built character. While others chased status, you learned to pray quietly. While others had support, you had heaven. You smiled through heartbreak, gave when you had little, praised through pain. This wasn't mere endurance, it was training. You were navigating heaven's curriculum for leaders, learning to bear burdens, stand in truth and trust when nothing added up. But now, the season is changing. You're no longer trapped in survival. You're awakening, seeking blueprints, thinking generationally. You've shifted from fear to purpose. The wealth approaching isn't for comfort, it's for your calling. Not to flaunt, but to build. Not to escape, but to establish something eternal. You're being positioned to carry provision that liberates others, breaks chains, funds visions, reverses curses. But first, your identity had to transform. You're not just a survivor, you're a builder. Not just the one who escaped, you're the one paving the way for others. Legacy begins in the mind. The enemy targeted yours fiercely because he knew if you escaped survival mode, you'd become unstoppable. But he failed. You're here, focused, elevating. You're no longer asking, will I have enough? You're asking, what can I build with what I've been given? That's legacy thinking. This is bigger than you, your children, your community, the vision God revived in you. You're rising to establish, planting seeds that grow into spiritual forests, watered by your obedience, faith, endurance, and pain. Pain becomes legacy when surrendered to God. This isn't just about entering abundance. It's about becoming the source of generational healing, the first to fully embrace divine inheritance. You're no longer chasing status, you're building substance. You're not seeking to shine, you're striving to leave something behind. That's why God chose you, not because you're flawless, but because you were faithful when it made no sense, trusted without proof, praised through pressure. Now you're not just surviving, you're ascending, building for eternity. This is your new identity, your assignment, your confirmation. You're not just gaining wealth, you're building legacy. Chapter 2. Why you had to lose first chosen one. Let this sink into your spirit. The loss wasn't punishment, it was preparation. Every closed door, betrayal, or moment of God's silence had purpose. You had to feel overlooked, underestimated, rejected, and under-resourced. You had to walk through scarcity so that when abundance arrives, pride won't consume you. You'll be grounded by perspective. Legacy builders can't be shallow or entitled. They must be deep, disciplined, and divinely rooted. That foundation comes through crushing, not comfort. You weren't losing. You were being humbled, emptied, and shaped by heaven. You learned what matters, what to release and what to hold. Most crucially, you learned to receive without forgetting the giver. God allowed loss to train your heart before entrusting your hands. Wealth without wisdom becomes a weapon, not a blessing. He ensured you wouldn't become another empty soul with a full account and no purpose. So yes, you had to lose. You sat in rooms feeling small, walked away from loved ones, faced empty accounts, yet said, God, I trust you. That wasn't weakness, it was warfare. You were trained in hidden places, taught to lead without followers, give while lacking, carry disappointment with grace. Legacy builders don't just give from their hands, they give from their history. They don't just deliver blessings, they carry the weight of understanding behind every seed sown. That's why when your winning season comes, and it's coming, you won't just spend. You'll sow, build, pour, and invest in people, visions, and divine blueprints. You'll plant into communities, fund purpose-driven projects, and revive others' dreams because you recall the pain of lack. If this message resonates deeply with you, open up in the comments and share the season you are going through right now. Your testimony could inspire, encourage, and liberate someone else. Take a moment to like others' comments to show them your support. Respond with words of encouragement. Your words can become a powerful light, a balm to heal their wounds and accompany them on this sacred path you travel together. You won't hoard what's coming, you'll multiply it with purpose. You'll see money as a tool, not atrophy. Lack refined you, didn't ruin you. Loss didn't disqualify you, it qualified you. It gave you a heart that feels, a mind that sees beyond today, a soul anchored in legacy, not luxury. You know how to treat those at the bottom because you were there, empower the broken because you were them, rebuild from ruins because that's where God met you. Don't resent the loss or erase it from your story. It gave you clear eyes, generous hands, and a humble spirit, no matter how high God takes you. It softened your heart, sharpened your discernment, prepared your soil for a lasting harvest. Yes, chosen one, you had to lose first because what you're about to carry isn't ordinary. It's sacred. God ensured your spirit could bear the weight before delivering the wealth. The world saw failure, but heaven saw formation. Now the one who lost everything is about to build something untouchable. The loss was the seed. Legacy is the fruit. Chapter 3. The responsibility of divine wealth. Chosen one. The wealth coming to you isn't ordinary. That's why God didn't release it early. This abundance isn't for popularity, comfort, or competition. It's for divine purpose. With divine purpose comes divine responsibility. You prayed for overflow, but heaven tested your heart beyond your words. Before releasing a blessing, God examines the vessel. He ensured your character could carry what your prayers sought. Divine wealth isn't given to simplify life, it's given to make impact eternal. God purified your intentions, stripped ego, and removed the need to prove yourself so that when increase arrives, you won't compete. You'll complete kingdom assignments. This wealth is weighty, carrying authority and accountability. Your decisions will shape not just your finances, but others' futures. That's why God delayed it. Your calling can't be tainted by selfishness, insecurity, or fear. You're not becoming wealthy to rest, but to raise people, standards, families, and spiritual atmospheres in cold communities. You'll lift the broken, reminding them of their worth. You'll fund dying visions, rescue destinies on the brink, and answer prayers through your obedience. The intensified warfare before your breakthrough wasn't random. The enemy doesn't fear your wealth. He fears your wise stewardship. He fears you building lasting systems, creating freedom, and breaking chains instead of buying them. This is wealth with purpose, abundance with intention, divine currency for elevation, not ego. God calls you to think differently. Ask what you can fund for the kingdom, whose burden you can lift. Look beyond accumulation to activation. You're not chosen to hoard but to heal, not to flex but to free others. That's why God tested your heart in the wilderness, watched what you did with little. Faithfulness in scarcity proves trustworthiness in abundance. You didn't buy your way here, you bled, served, and sacrificed into it. The reward isn't just material, it's missional. God trusts you, not because you're perfect, but because you stayed obedient in hardship, loyal in loneliness, and faithful when it didn't make sense. This wealth flows through you, not just to you. You're heaven's distributor, a financier for kingdom vision, a carrier of generational freedom. Prepare your hands to release, your heart to empower. What's coming is greater than imagined, but so is the responsibility. You're ready, prepared, tested, and chosen. Not for perfection, but for trust. If this message resonates deeply with you, open up in the comments and share the season you're going through right now. Your testimony could inspire, encourage, and liberate someone else. Take a moment to like others' comments to show them your support. Respond with words of encouragement. Your words can become a powerful light, a balm to heal their wounds and accompany them on this sacred path you travel together. Chapter 4. You're building what they couldn't finish. Chosen one. Grasp this truth. You're not just living your life, you're completing a story started long before you. Your ancestors dreamed of better, hoped for more, labored in love but lacked tools, access, or time to build their visions. They were survivors, warriors, nurturers, but rarely legacy builders. They fought unseen battles, endured unspoken hardships, prayed silent prayers. God heard them, and you are their answer. You're chosen to finish what they began. That's why your life feels heavy, your path unique, your mold unbroken. You're not just another in the bloodline, you're the pattern breaker. Anointed to wield spiritual tools they never had, building what they couldn't complete. Your ancestors tilled soil, planted seeds, faced endless droughts. Now you carry the rain, the blueprint, the favor, the oil to break what broke them. Their hands were worn from labor. Yours are blessed for leadership. They lacked access. You have open doors. They lacked words. You have revelation. They were bound by survival. You're called to strategy. Your life feels like war because you're doing what your family never did. Carrying assignments beyond your generation, rebuilding spiritual walls torn by trauma, addiction, poverty, dysfunction, silence. You're not weak, you're warfare in motion. Every attack on your identity, health, mind, or finances aimed to stop your purpose. But you didn't quit. You cried, stumbled, but never broke. Now heaven places tools in your hands no ancestor held. Time they lacked, vision they couldn't explore, faith they couldn't freely walk. Every healing choice rebuilds what they lost. Every peaceful decision redeems what they couldn't protect. Every word of life rewrites your bloodline's prophecy. You're not just chosen. You're called, commissioned, anointed to finish what generations couldn't. It's not pressure. It's privilege. You were born for this, equipped with discernment, depth, discipline. You're the first to see clearly, build wisely, say, it stops with me, and it begins with me. You're your bloodline's turning point. Yes, the path is hard, isolating, burdened with others' weights. But you're trusted to carry a blueprint heaven waited generations to release. Chapter 5, Shuan 5. You're not just gathering money, you're gathering purpose, chosen one. Be clear, if money were your only aim, you'd have taken the easy path long ago. You had chances to sell out, doors to quick profit with deep compromise, opportunities that seemed like blessings but would have buried your calling. Yet you walked away, not for lack of need, but because your spirit refused to betray your purpose. Each whispered no to promising offers was God guarding your calling. Each rejection of what felt wrong was divine alignment. You weren't made to collect wealth, you were made to channel purpose. That's why you felt detached from others' pursuits. You can't idolize what you're meant toward. You weren't designed to chase riches. You attract them through obedience. The wealth coming isn't from manipulation or hustle, it's from alignment. You stayed loyal to God's path, trusted His voice over trends, moved with obedience, not desperation. Now a divine reversal is unfolding. Wealth will chase you, not from luck or noise, but because heaven sees you're ready. God knows money won't corrupt you. It'll fuel your mission through clean hands and heart. You're not gathering money for status, but resources for vision. Funding divine ideas, reviving dreams, rebuilding what's broken, answering prayers you once prayed. Your wealth won't sit in banks. It'll be sown into impact. True prosperity isn't about purchases. It's about birthing something generational, eternal, bigger than you. You're creating schools, ministries, safe spaces, healing hubs, restoration centers, giving hope to others. You didn't compromise for coins, so God will compensate you with purpose-driven abundance, tailored, righteous, with divine instruction and backing. You won't waste it proving yourself. You'll invest it in destiny, people, healing, freedom. God trusts you with sacred wealth, not for flexing but for freeing others. Your silence, patience, and pure heart prove you're a vessel, a divine manager of heaven's resources. Chapter 6. The enemy fears your impact, not your income, chosen one. Why has your financial path felt like a battlefield? Why do doors slam just as breakthroughs near? Why work twice as hard to stay afloat while others thrive easily? It's not because God forgot you or you're unworthy. It's because the enemy knows who you are and what happens when you're resourced. You're not just after riches. You carry revelation, a giving heart, a creative mind, and a soul that listens to God over the world. That's dangerous. Your generosity disrupts. Your vision is kingdom-backed. Your intentions are pure and hell hates it. The enemy doesn't fear your money. He fears what you'll do with it. Funded, you'll free captives, fund ministries, launch integrity-driven businesses, feed families, break cycles, rewrite your bloodline's blueprint. You won't buy chains, you'll break them. You won't spend to flaunt, you'll sow to lift. That's why finances were your fiercest battle. Not because you love money, but because you carry mission. Every delay, betrayal, setback aimed to wear you down, distract you, disconnect you from legacy. But it failed. You grew in faith, prayed with empty accounts, tithed illogically, served in lack. You proved trustworthiness in scarcity and overflow. God is clearing your path, opening unshuttable doors, releasing withheld resources by divine order. The enemy slowed your income, but not your impact. You sowed truth, uplifted others, spoke life into dead situations while bleeding privately. Now God brings balance, aligning your impact with income to amplify your assignment. This isn't about comfort, it's about kingdom construction. You're rising to fulfill prophecy, answering others' prayers. God knows you won't waste it. You'll honor the call, remember the cost. The warfare wasn't about greed, it was about generational authority. The devil saw your power before you did. What he delayed is now divinely expedited. Chapter 7. You're not just getting rich, you're becoming a foundation chosen one. This was never about money, cars, houses, or status. That's too small for your weight. This is about inheritance, legacy, God using you to create something lasting, outliving your name and presence. You're not just blessed, you're positioned to build. God is using your life to lay a foundation others will stand on. Ministries, businesses, systems, structures born from your obedience. Your children, community, and strangers will be touched by your creations, spaces, and prayers. That's why this has been heavy. Foundations bear weight. God isn't building a moment. He's building a movement through you. You're the answer to your ancestors' wordless prayers, chosen to finish what they couldn't, carry what they couldn't. The enemy fought hard to stop the foundation, blocking the future. He failed, you're here. God trusts you, not just with income, but impact. You didn't chase wealth, you chased God. Now wealth chases you because you won't worship it, you'll use it, build righteously, reflecting heaven's design, not the world's standards. You're not becoming successful, you're becoming a foundation, the first to build lasting clarity. Think generationally, say, this blessing begins with me. You're setting a standard, living a life others will cite, saying, their faith kept me going. Builders don't need applause, they need vision. You have it. You're not just getting rich. You're a launch pad, turning prayers into plans, dreams into destiny. Your work will ripple through generations. Don't be discouraged by the cost, the pace, or misunderstanding. You weren't built to be understood. You were built to be trusted. God isn't just blessing you, He's building through you. What He builds won't collapse, erase, or follow trends. It's built on truth. You're not chosen to receive, you're chosen to release. Long after you're gone, your impact will endure.